Hola, and welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. Today I have Mr. Vic Tuberosi.
Hi, Alina.
How are
I'm
you?
doing good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for coming.
Thank you.
Before we get into the show, so the last few weeks, because it's October, we've been recognizing women in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so today, my old partner at work, she was down the docks with me. Unfortunately, she passed of breast cancer.
Sorry, Alina.
It's actually really sad. She was 30, not married, no kids. And her thing was she would make jokes about it. You could see her t-shirt says "Save the tatas."
That's funny. That's funny.
And tatas in Spanish are your boobies. She would have a shirt because she was a softball player that said "Save second base."
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
Good
she had a lot of good fundraisers for it. We did a lot of fun things with it. She was in remission and then it came back and it took over her whole body. So she didn't survive. And so it's very sad. And that was I believe it was in March of 2011. And it was sad. So definitely wanted to remember her this month.
Sorry, Alina.
Thank you. Okay. On that note, thank God I didn't cry.
No, you did a good job.
Thank you. How are you, Vic? How
I'm
was
doing
your
good.
day?
It was
Good
going
day?
good.
Good.
Yes, thank you for asking. Yes.
Solomon, good? You good?
I'm good. I'm good
Okay.
now. Had a little bit
Good.
of technical difficulties to start this off. But
We're good. We're good. So Vic, you are the co-owner with your parents in what?
Joseph's Bakery, my brother, my parents, and myself. Yes.
Nice. Oh, George.
Yes, all of us. Yeah, the
Yes.
family. So
Yes.
it's great.
And it is a very famous bakery in San Pedro. And what is your specialties?
Breakfast pizza and croissants as well.
Yeah.
The breakfast pizza, in the morning, we sell it at 5 o'clock when we open. We get calls and people come in at that early.
Oh yeah, I've
And
been
people-
there
yeah.
as early as like 5:30, 6 a.m.
So people were very popular for that and for the croissants as well.
And so your pizza, because it's probably actually my favorite thing there. Is it? Because Seth and I had a whole debate on it today. Is it actually cold or is it room temperature?
It's room temperature, Alina. We make it now throughout the day. Before we didn't
Okay.
back in the days, but now we make it generally throughout the day. We sell a lot more.
Yeah.
So I mean, we make a tray, and if it's not sold in 45 minutes, it becomes room temperature. So
Yeah.
and we make it as we go as the day goes.
You guys used to sell out, and if you sold out, that was it. And so we knew, like me and the kids would be like, "What time is it? Saturday, it's Joseph's 9 a.m. Nope, they're sold out. Forget it." Like we wouldn't even bother going. But now, like you said, you guys make more.
Yeah, a little bit more, and the idea is keep things fresh. Nothing is sold the next day. So if we make
Yeah.
pizza, we want to sell that. So everything is fresh, made that day of to sell.
And how early do you get in there in the morning?
Myself, I get in there about 12:45, 1 o'clock
In the morning?
in the morning. Yeah,
Seriously?
yeah. Well, I have like 7 alarms to go off, Alina. I wake up on the last one usually.
Holy
Yeah, I try to.
that's crazy.
We have to be there. I have to be there by 1 o'clock. They have the product ready by 5 o'clock.
What time do mom and pops get there?
Pops gets there about 2 o'clock, and mom gets there about 5 o'clock, 4:45 to deal
okay.
with
Okay.
when the bakery opens, to deal with the customers.
Oh, okay.
And brother's dealing with the customers
Yeah.
too.
So when we were younger, my grandparents owned the apartments across the street, and
Okay.
we'd get money for offering, and we'd go around the corner and go to church. And the whole time in church, I'm like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go."
With the money you got.
Oh yeah, didn't give the money for offering. Soon as church was done, ran around the corner, got Joseph, and then how we never got caught, I'll never know. I didn't even think about that. Run right back across the street and walk in the house eating Joseph's. And my grandpa's like, "Where'd you get that?" We're like, "Church."
So they gave Chris.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
We took the offering to your mom and I think it was like 30 cents or something for a croissant.
Back in the day.
Oh,
cheaper,
yes.
Yeah.
And she used to be as sweet as can be. And even now, like when I saw her yesterday morning and I walked in to get my stuff, she is just a doll, but she's tough as nails.
Yes, she is. Mom is the foundation of the family.
Is she?
Mom is the foundation of the business. We
Yeah.
couldn't put my dad out front dealing with the customers. That wouldn't go too well, Lena.
Be
No.
like, "Do you have change?" No change.
No change. No, have a nice day. What do you need? It's like not even hello. It's like you walk in. It's what do you need? Tries to answer the phone
Yeah,
like
but
that.
where's he from though?
He's originally born in Italy, but he migrated to Argentina in 1946.
Really?
So he was ultimately raised in Argentina. He came here to this country when he was 28.
Oh.
Yeah. Never learned any kind of English. Still doesn't really know. It's broken English.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad. It's funny.
They used to always make fun of me because in school, one of my friends seen him write double, and he wrote double, D-U-B-L-O, and the guy can't write English, and he owns a business.
Yeah.
But hardworking man, hardworking
Yes.
man.
So, did your parents meet here?
They knew the families knew each other back in Italy. Both my grandmas knew each other. Mom and
Oh,
dad didn't,
okay.
but my grandma used to always send my mom to the bakery to buy a loaf of bread back when they both came to this country, and that's how they met at the bakery. My dad was see my mom generally coming to the bakery, but he didn't have the guts to ask her out. He told me the story, so he had to
Really?
take a couple. He knew she was coming in, and he was taking a couple shots of whiskey in the back with his brother, and he finally had the guts to ask her out. So now, how
Really?
many years now they've been married? Oh, almost 50 years, over 50 years.
So, do they speak predominantly Italian in the house?
To each other, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Because even your mom has an accent, and sometimes when she goes back here, and I just love it because it's so authentic. It's
Oh,
so hardcore.
yeah.
And I'm scared of her. Like
No, they
as
go.
sweet as she is, I'm still like, I'm not messing with her.
No, you don't want to mess with
No,
my
no.
mama. No. My mama is a sweetheart, and she taught
Yeah.
me a lot, dealing with customers and the way she
Yeah.
is. But I wouldn't want to get her upset. No.
No.
You can ask my dad that.
Who were you more afraid of growing up?
Pops.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And how tall is your dad?
About 5'2".
Yeah, but
At
he's
best.
like iron hardcore.
Hardcore.
Solid.
His fingers are like double size. The most general.
And do you think that's from all the baking and stuff?
Yeah,
or
just
just
old
naturally?
school mentality. Yeah, I was definitely more scared of my dad. My mom was not. I mean, she was still
Mhm.
raised me tough, but not like my dad.
And who was more spoiled, you or George?
Oh, my brother was spoiled.
Because he's such a sweetheart.
Oh yeah, he's got the blue eyes. He's a spoiled little baby. Oh, the beautiful little.
Is that what it was?
The beautiful
That's
little boy. Look how beautiful he is.
Yeah.
Not this one.
No. This is the dark one.
The dark.
We're putting him in the back.
Yeah, but
George is in the front.
Yes, this is the dark one right here. The black sheep.
Oh my God.
Hands down, he was.
That is hilarious.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you guys are pretty close.
We're really close.
You guys have a blood brother bond.
I'm very fortunate to have a brother.
What's the difference between your guys' age?
Born in March, about a year and a half.
Really?
He was born in
Yeah.
72 March. I was born August 70, so about a year,
Yeah.
18 months.
He's a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's the blue-eyed one. We called him I call him the blue-eyed one.
Do you really?
Yeah, all the
That
time.
is so
In my head, I don't always
Yeah,
make fun of him,
yeah,
but in
that's
the family,
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so now let's get into you. So you're a big part of the community in San Pedro where we live, San Pedro, California. We grew up in this small town, which is now not a small town. It's
No,
this
it's
big city. It's changed so much. But you're a huge coaching person in our town. And you've coached, which I'll let you tell me, but the two main things recently is the Mary Star girls basketball team and now the San Pedro High Flag football team.
Yes. Got the job 10 years ago at Mary Star coaching girls. I coached boys for many years. I also was part of Recreation and Parks.
Okay.
Coached multiple teams, but I was offered a position. I think it was about 2013. It was right before season. And Miss Dever, the principal at the time at Mary Star, still is the principal. Kane, I got a job for you, Victor. The girls' basketball. And true story, it was about 8:00 in the evening. I just got done coaching the boys. I was helping coach the freshman team at the time, JV team or freshman, I can't remember. And I sat in the gym and I told myself, the girls? What did I do to deserve?
Have you ever coached girls?
Well, in co-ed, but not generally just girls.
Yeah.
In general, no. So I thought to myself as I sat on the bench, and I still remember the day very vividly. What did I do to deserve this? And so, but it became clear to me. It got clear to me as I went home, and I told myself, "Well, that's a beautiful opportunity that someone's giving you a chance to be a head coach of a high school program."
Is it teenage girls? You want to deal with all that?
Not really. I just said a high school program head coach. I didn't even think of that at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't. I really didn't. But it turned out to be one of the best decisions I made in my life, Alina, honestly.
Yeah.
At 10 years coaching the girls and now the girls flag football program at San Pedro, they taught me a lot as I taught them, but they were teaching me
Really?
as a person. Yes, I never had a daughter. I had two sons, but they were teaching me a lot,
I know when you were at Mary Star and you were coaching, everybody knows Mary Star. Everyone knows that they have the same equivalent of sports that Pedro High does, right?
Yes.
But for some reason, when you were coaching at Mary Star and you were coaching this basketball team, all of Pedro all of a sudden realized Mary Star had a girls basketball team. Like it was kind of silent before. No one paid attention to it really, except for the kids that actually played at it, because it's a smaller school, right? Pedro's is the main.
Yes,
School.
four times the I think students
Yeah.
at Pedro,
But then
2,500 or whatever it is. Yeah.
now Vic's coaching, and now they're winning, and now it's fun, and a lot of it too is social media, right? The parents are
Right.
posting things. You have Bubba who's on there with his daughter,
Oh,
so
it's my
he was
favorite of all time.
so he's posting it all the time because his
Yeah.
daughter's badass,
Yeah.
right? But all of a sudden we realize Mary Star has a pretty good girls basketball team. And then how far did you guys go?
We ended up winning. Well, a couple years went to the semifinals, CIF semifinals, and then we ended up winning the CIF championship in during the COVID year. They made us play in June. It was 2021. So we won the CIF division championship, first championship in school history, and
Really?
and that's my school, my alumni, and there was nothing better and more fulfilling to me
Yeah.
to be able to do that for that school and
Oh,
my archdiocese,
yeah.
Alina. So ultimately, we had a drive, and
Yeah.
our drive was that, and our drive was about gaining respect. And the girls really, really took to that. I mean, I use that word a lot. It's
Yeah.
about respect. Respect is earned; it's not demanded.
Yeah.
You're gonna go earn respect by playing hard,
Yeah.
giving all you got, working hard, making people notice you.
Where'd you get that ethic from? Ooh,
Father,
Pops.
easy, yeah, easy, yeah.
Are you still scared of Pops, by the way?
Yes, I am. I mean, honestly, truthful. Is it scared or
Spoken like a
respect?
true
People say
son.
it's respect, but I think it's more scared. I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
I mean, I was late to work a couple weeks ago, and the guy called me. And I seen Dad, and it was middle of the night. I'm like, oh no, and that fear. Now it's not a fear. It's more. I guess it is a fear.
Is it a
Lena.
fear or is it a disappointment that you were late? Now you're in trouble.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
That after so many
Yeah.
years that I would let him down ever.
Yeah. You have a really good relationship with him.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
That's awesome. But
no.
that's that old school Italian, like the way they raised you.
Well, like I said to my best friend, he talks to me a lot about it, and he tells me you coach the way your father raised you in a different manner in today's day and age, of
Mhm.
course, but you installed that discipline and that hard work ethic. And that's the most important value you can have and give yourself a chance to be successful. Work hard.
Is that a hard thing to teach these girls at a school like Mary Star? Because you do have to watch everything you say everywhere you do because it is a private school. So these parents pay for their children to go to this school. So is it hard for you to have your coaching mentality with these girls?
Look, I'm not gonna lie, Alina. Honestly, it changes the wording, the way it comes out, but it's still the same. Ultimately, it's still the same mentality. Allow, I come here. I could tell them when you lay your head down at night. Um, you want to tell you lay your head down. No, you gave yourself the best chance, and you made yourself better in anything you did that day.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I really preach that a lot. They're so tired of,
Really?
oh yeah. I tell them all the time, when you lay your head down, you want to make sure that you gave your best at what you did. And if you did, you're gonna lay your head down peacefully at night. And ultimately in life, that's all you can do for one person. Ultimately you'll find happiness out of
Yeah.
yourself because you gave it your best shot.
After you were coaching basketball and you had your first shot at it and everything like that, did you actually enjoy coaching girls compared to boys at that point? Was it different than what you thought it would be?
No, ultimately they're pretty similar, Alina, honestly, because I go back to it again, like I keep telling you. The only little difference might be the way you teach them the discipline and the way you teach them hard work ethic and to make them believe to be successful. That might be a little bit of a difference, but not much, Alina. I come with the same mentality. I go, if I'm going to show up, I'm going to give it the best I got. And if
Yeah.
I give it the best I got,
Yeah.
and then I could give myself a chance to be successful. It doesn't guarantee you success.
Yeah.
But if I lay my head down knowing cut corners or I didn't do the right thing, then I know I'm cheating myself.
Yeah.
So it's very similar,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's a little bit of a difference. Not much,
Yeah. So
honestly.
now you're coaching flag football.
Yeah.
Why
Girls.
the smile? Yeah, back to girls.
Why the smile?
Back to girls.
Why the smile?
Yeah.
Because, they said girls can't play football, right? Well, I tell you what, girls can play football.
Yeah.
It's the girls at San Pedro especially,
Mhm.
their willingness to want to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to learn every single thing and they ask questions. I mean, when I took over at first, they didn't even know where the goal line was, where the end zone was, where you score points. So it's more in detail now,
Yeah.
teaching them from point A to all the way through. They ask a bunch of questions.
So if they didn't know that because you kind of broke down the story a little bit, how you didn't know if you could get into this, meaning if the school would allow it, they didn't have a class for it, you had to have girls sign up. Were you nervous that girls would sign up to learn all this because it is quote unquote football?
Originally, I seen it become officially a high school sport. I'm going to go back and I'll get into it. And on the news, officially now girls flag football. And I've always wanted to coach flag football at the high school level, but it was going to be the boys. I thought that
Yeah.
they hopefully started a flag football for boys,
Boys, yeah.
And then my eyes, and I got like, it was like I was reborn. I was sort of on the back end of my coaching career. I thought I reached my pinnacle. I tried everything I could to get that CIF championship for the school, and
Yeah.
we went through it, and it was hard. I thought I reached my pinnacle. This came up, and I felt reborn. And so when the opportunity came up, I went straight to the school to Mr. Rogosic, and I approached him and I asked him, "Is there going to be a girls flag football team here?" And he said, "Well, we don't have a coach." And I said, "Well, I'll do that. That's not a problem." And then I asked him, how is this going to go about facility wise and all that kind of stuff. He goes, "Well, that's another problem." I go, "That's not a problem." Then he tells me that, "Well, we're going to make it a class. We'll see how many people sign up for the class. And there has to be someone to run the class as well as a teacher, because I'm a outside coach. I'm not a teacher of the school." It all worked out, Alina. 42 girls signed up on Google Docs. Originally, I found out in June,
Oh, wow.
Wow,
so
that's
there
a
was
lot.
more than,
That is awesome, huh?
Yeah.
yeah. And then 28 or 29 came out originally to come out, but that's how many originally signed up.
And do you think these girls signed up not even maybe knowing the sport and not caring, just wanting to go out there and do something,
Yes.
play and try it?
Yes, absolutely. That's what makes it even more, what's going on now. It
Yeah.
makes it more interesting, and how far they have come. It is like I was telling you earlier. Maybe one day if you get a chance, come watch and play, Alina.
So what are you guys doing? So by the time this airs, unfortunately, it have already passed. So, but tomorrow night you said they're doing community night.
Yes, community night. What it is all the local schools
Mhm.
are Dana, Dotson, 50, all the local schools.
Mhm.
They're introducing future leaders in San Pedro. So the
Okay.
schools will be there, and they'll be walking around the track with their banners of the school.
Yeah.
And then after the event's at 4:45, 5:15, the girls' game is going to happen, and they're going to be asked if they have time to stay in the stands and watch the girls play flag
Okay.
football.
I'm gonna try to make it to tomorrow's night's game because my goddaughter Leilani, I told you, is on the team.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then I
Yeah.
was telling my daughter about and she was mad because when my daughter was in high school, she wanted to go out for the football team. And my daughter has an arm. She could have played. She's a stocky little girl. She probably could have played.
Yeah.
But I was like, absolutely not. You're not playing with men like these boys that like are 200 and something pounds. And so now that there's a flag football team, she's like, they didn't have that for us growing up. So I think it's awesome that these girls now have an opportunity to go out and play amongst each other and to really play. The girls that have gone out that didn't know what a first down was, like we were saying,
Yeah.
do they know what a first down
Oh
is
yeah,
now?
they're Alina. Not only that, they want the want is there.
Really?
The want to learn. It's just interesting, because I call patterns like past patterns.
Yeah.
It's funny. It just happened the other day in a game. I call them colors: red, yellow, red, blue. So it's easier for them to pick up. So, but in football, a slant, a go, post corner, they're called different terminology. I called the play the other day slant corner, right? And the girl, she ran it wrong, okay? But I was wrong. I thought about it. And even my assistant coach goes, "Coach Vic, you told them the actual pattern, but they don't understand it like that. They understand a yellow into a blue." So that tells me how can I say it to you? How they pick it up. They understand, but it's the terminology.
But are you able to go back and say that was my bad?
Yes, absolutely.
Because a lot of coaches will not
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So-
Yes, I told her that. I apologize.
And what'd she say?
She goes, "No, coach," but she just was like, couldn't say anything.
Oh.
But you could say I made the mistake
Yeah.
as a coach, Alina,
Yeah.
because I taught him and we told him slant corner, and it was a spur of the moment kind of thing that I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
him that. I didn't think about it as a coach. I did apologize. I go, "I apologize." She
Aw.
goes, "What's a slant corner?" when she knows what a yellow into a blue is right
Yeah.
away, or a green means a go,
Yeah.
red's a stop. I use the
Oh,
stop line. So
okay.
yeah, so
It's almost like when you give girls direction. Go to the target, make a right.
on the second I'll make a left.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
but
Like,
that's the beauty of coaching them too. They
Yeah.
pick up on everything, and their willingness to want to learn.
What is the one difference you can tell between coaching the girls basketball team and girls football? So basically, the difference between coaching girls and coaching boys.
Coaching girls and coaching boys.
What is the one thing that stands out that's different?
There's not much of a difference, truthfully, because like I said to you earlier, it's all about work ethic and discipline and all that.
Mhm.
The one difference that I can say, if anything, is they pick up on the first thing you tell them.
Really?
I just need to tell you, run a yellow into a green. Yes, coach.
Really?
Yes, coach. Yeah, they pick it up. They pick up on it right
And
away.
do you think, because we were also saying, I feel like girls are more naturally go-getters. They're more naturally like, let's just get this done. Let's hustle. Where boys, I feel personally, the majority of them are just lackadaisical, right? Naturally. But usually that's where the dad steps in, sticks his foot up their ass, and then they become these great men, right?
Right. Yeah.
So coaching these girls at this age, they have such a want for it. And you could tell that difference between boys that go on the football team and they're like,
I know. Yes. Yes. I know, Alina. I know. It's true. No, but it's their drive and their want. That's the only sport that was not a sport in high school. Like basketball had girls, volleyball's girls, boys,
you have softball,
softball, soccer,
yeah,
golf,
swimming,
swimming.
all
All
of
of it
that.
was all sports. This was the last sport I think that wasn't a all girls sport that became now is an all girls sport. And so I think their want, especially now that's new,
Yeah.
and all the like you said earlier, all the girls that graduated that wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And now these girls get that opportunity. So I tell them, you play hard and you make it for everyone that wanted to do it before you make it fun, you make it interesting so they understand that you guys are having fun. You get an opportunity to do the things they wanted to do.
So when my daughter was in high school, they had one game and it was called the Powder Puff
Yeah.
game. And that always irked me because it made it seem so like pinkish. Like it kind of took away from it actually being flag football. But it was one game. It was, I think it's their senior year they got to play.
Yes, they did.
And she went out and she had a blast and she loved it. She would have liked it to be longer. But this now, it's not looked as a powder puff game. It's looked as full on football.
Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier, some of these girls are pretty badass.
Yeah, Lena. No, I coached football the way that I coach the girls is the same way I would coach the boys. There is no difference.
Really?
There's no difference. So at first I thought there would have to be, even generally in basketball, would there have to be there's a little, like I said, there's a little bit of toning it down, of course,
Yeah.
let's keep it real, but I coach the same way, regard if it's boy, girl, it doesn't matter. And these girls are pretty badass.
Do they have
They're tough.
your quarterback? Does she have a good arm?
There's two of them. Yeah, they're both sophomores. They're young too.
Really?
Yeah, one's Jenna Ortega and the other one's Madison Madrid. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they got really good. I say I'm amazed at the arms they got.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing that if it wasn't for this, that arm would just go to waste?
Yes. No, and
it's just a shame.
it's also fun seeing the parents going to watch their daughters. Like, for example, watch your daughter play football.
Yes.
Now think about this. I think about this too. Now when dad's watching football on a Sunday or whatever it is, and daughter's walking by the TV, or he can't share that time with his daughter, maybe he could sit down with his daughter now and watch the game of football because she's interested. Right.
Yes.
So I think it's changing a lot of that too in our times, Alina, now. So, I mean, I really think it's one of the most positive things. I think it's going to blow up too, Alina.
And what is your guys' record right now?
We're 18-3 right now. Currently ranked number 1 in the city.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, and I did not know that there was even a flag football team. And then I heard, you were coaching at Peter. I was like, oh, that's cute. They have like a little season going. And Gina, Leilani's mom, was like, no, it's like a real thing. Like it's a whole, I was like, oh, it's an actual sport. I didn't know that. She explained it to me. And I didn't even know that other schools had it and other schools were playing and all that stuff.
There's about 50, I think 57 or 50.
So does Banning and Narbonne?
No, Narbonne has a team. Not all the schools do.
Oh, okay.
They have to be able to get a coach and do all that kind of.
Oh,
but 57 or 58 schools in the city have teams.
So it'll probably just start.
It's gonna, Alina. I can't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why I can't see? Like I said, I had 42 girls originally sign up. He was worried himself. Are we gonna have enough girls? And in my head, I'm thinking, come on. You are gonna have enough.
You're gonna have enough girls.
Put it out there for me, please.
Yeah.
And he did, and I give him a lot of credit for that.
So you guys have games once a week like regular football?
They play actually. They're a little different now. They since it's not so grueling in the time, they play double headers on certain days too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because of the officials too, it's hard
Yeah.
for officiating Friday nights.
Okay. Yeah.
They're busy, so they have these games. Those girls' flag footballs are on Mondays and Thursdays generally.
Okay.
But they're gonna have a city championship.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna have a playoffs and everything for the girls. I don't think the CIF is this year, but next year they are. But the city's having one this year.
Nice.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. And do you have any girls? Because I asked you about their arms. Do you have any fast girls on the team?
Quite a few, Alina.
Really?
Yes. What's fortunate too at Pedro? I noticed that a lot of the coaches are very supportive of their athletes, soccer, basketball, volleyball. Volleyball's in season, so not volleyball, but softball, basketball, and soccer. I have honestly, I think out of those 3 that's their main sport. There's about 15 or 16 of them participating in flag football.
Really?
Yeah, and they're all good athletes.
Oh,
It
see,
may be
that's
more.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it keeps them busy, gives them a
Yes.
sport they could play while they're waiting for their other sport to come around again.
But Alina, it also teaches you different things, I think, as an athlete. If it was your daughter or my son, I would tell my son, yes, go learn from a different coach, first of all, a state
Yeah.
of mind mentality.
Yeah.
Take, you don't have to take everything the guy or the female teaches you, but you could take little pieces of every coach you come across and every adult that teaches you different things.
Yeah.
Generally. And so
Yeah.
you've been playing that sport and you develop. I told the girls, look, I know it's not your sport, so we're having fun here.
Yeah.
But develop yourself for whatever you could take from here for your other sport.
Do you have any emotional girls? Like, and if you do, how do you deal with that? Because, girls at that age is a very emotional time.
There is at times.
Is it?
Yeah, honestly, truthfully, I don't really approach them too much. I'll be honest. I try to,
Yeah.
no, in a good way. Like a girl got hurt the other day. She fell on the ground. Now,
Did you want to tell her to get up and suck it
well,
up?
no, Elena. Well,
You did.
There's no
I did.
crying in football.
But I did. But hold on, it got even better. It's even better than that. So she's hurt in the end zone, and she's one of the toughest girls I got. I got to give her that.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking to myself, Vic, let her get up on her own.
Yeah.
Just out of the corner of your eye, just keep looking, but just go to the huddle and let her. She fell in the mud. It was muddy field. She got up slowly on her own
Oh, okay.
and walked to the sideline. But I thought to myself, now, what are people thinking up there? I dare you not go to that. But no, like I told you, I'm going to teach them to play the same way I teach the boys.
What if her parents would have came down to get her to help her? What would you?
Then I wouldn't have said nothing. Look, and I'm not going to get in the middle of that.
Yeah.
That's her mama and daddy. I'm not going to get in the middle of that. Now, as a coach.
But if those were boys and a parent came down, you'd be like, get the hell off my field.
Yeah, he's fine. Get up. I mean, in a good way. I mean,
Vic's trying to contain himself. I'm like, tell me.
No. And truthfully, in a good way, Alina, it's just learning to be tough.
Yeah.
If it's get up, you're all right.
Is it hard for you because
right.
you were raised by a very hardcore dad? You have a brother and you have two sons. So there's no princess anywhere in there, right? So now you're coaching these girls and they're great athletes and they're good students or they wouldn't be playing right there, but they're still girls. So there's still a part of them and not all, because some girls are just tough as nails.
Right. No, truthfully, yeah.
So is it new to you? Is it hard for you to coach girls in that
I
sense?
think it's God giving me the daughter I never had.
Aww.
A bunch of daughters I never had, and so
that's awesome.
and that's the way I look at it. And that's the way I treat them.
Yeah.
It's something, and that's the way honestly, how would I raise my daughter? I would raise her to be tough.
Yeah.
I would raise her to make sure that to be successful, you gave it your all every time you came out here.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I raised you to be get up
Yeah.
off the ground if you get knocked down. And daddy's not going to be there to pick you up. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because life ultimately is going to teach you to be tough,
And life's going to knock you down.
Yes, it's going to knock you
and
down.
sometimes daddy will be there and sometimes
No,
he
honestly,
won't.
you will. And anybody, but ultimately in the end, you have to learn that you have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you'd be successful on your own and people around you would be very proud of you.
Yeah. And do you want to keep coaching? Do you want to come back next year and coach and stay on?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it right now. Like I said, I was reborn. I was sort of burned out. I was burned out a little bit, and it wasn't because of the kids. It's just I just started to get burned out. But I feel rejuvenized by flag football because ultimately I used to coach flag football. It's where I started back in recreation and parks back in the late '90s.
Yeah.
And so
'cause
flag
you've been
football.
coach-
At
for a long
Peck
time.
Park
Yeah.
at Peck Park, and then I went to for many years. I went to Mary Star Elementary, Harry Bridges.
Yeah.
Coached flag football. That was ultimately my sport. Then when I seen it become a sport and it was for the girls, and I was already coaching the girls, I said, let me go take advantage of the situation. But ultimately, I also had someone that really pushed me. It was my wife's cousin, and we were sitting, and the opportunity came up, and she looked at me, and it really stuck to me. Her name was Michelle. She goes, "You make it yours, Victor."
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you guys remember, during the Super Bowl, they played a flag football commercial. And it was Diana Flores, and she plays for, I believe, Mexico. And it was a cool.
Remember you brought that up earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool commercial too because they show her with her family, and she starts running around left and right, and she's dodging everybody.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm wondering if this serves as sort of a, like a beacon for these girls who are now getting into to show that there are more powerful grown women doing this sport, and B, there's a potential place for this sport to grow for them to actually develop and play professionally.
Well, I heard that there was going to be a flag football in the Olympics, but I didn't know if that's for boys or girls. It just said that that's what
Dude, I
was
was
coming to the
hoping
Olympics.
that they would make it an opportunity in college, just like every other sport,
Yeah.
ultimately, to earn a scholarship
Yeah.
to play at a collegiate level. That would be
And
that would be the pinnacle.
and there's supposed to
Actually,
be no contact, right? I know stuff happens, but it's supposed
no,
to be
they minimize, and I think it's good. There's some
yeah.
things that need. I think as this it goes on, like anything else, it'll change.
Yeah.
But the no contact aspect of it, I think it's great.
And do you have to rip one flag off or two? I don't remember.
One flag.
One flag.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are actually 3 flags. Some have 2 flags,
Okay.
but they're just one initial flag. It's a great. I think it's a great sport.
Yeah.
It's gonna blossom.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
On a coaching, I love it. I mean, I don't see any different. Like when I said to you, coaching the boys. When like last year, I coached a team with my son at Big Donovan's young boys, and I coach them the same exact way.
So Seth played football. He played Pop Warner, had to lose weight all the time. One year I didn't want to put him through that. And I had already felt as a horrible parent that I would make him lose weight all the time. So he went and played at Peck Park. He went and played flag football one year. And he had so much fun and loved it, but he did miss tackling, right? So then he went back into Pop Warner and then he played at Pedro High. The downfall to all of that now is he's 23 and he has a messed up shoulder.
Right.
He has a messed up thumb, which now interferes with his baseball. And I feel like he always played for me. And his grandma never wanted him to play because all the concussions that would happen, all the hitting in the heads and stuff like that. So I'm glad that he didn't continue playing. But I love that these girls get to play and they don't have to worry about the full on contact,
Right.
and get hit and mess because he's 23 and his body's messed up.
I know.
And I know it's from football.
Football is a gladiator sport. It's collision.
Oh, well, he's been playing
running
since
into
he
the
was
wall,
like 5 or 6.
run into the wall with your helmet 15 times. It doesn't matter. You're still running into a wall.
Yeah.
I honestly, truthfully believe, I mean, ultimately, they'll actually have guys playing 7-on-7 football as well. Ultimately.
Mhm.
Now, they just added it to the Olympics, like you said. I believe it's just the guy sport at the Olympics, but
That they added? Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just seen that. But ultimately, yeah, their bodies are damaged for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Like that's
Luckily, I only played my freshman year. I'm glad, I mean, my son played, and I was worried all the time about concussions and getting injured and lifelong injury.
well, he was getting hurt and he got hurt with his thumb. And I probably should have told him that I didn't know about this until like years later. He told me that they would just tape up his thumb
Yes,
while he was playing. And they pretty much he felt like he couldn't complain that it hurt because then he's looked at like a little quote unquote bitch for complaining that his finger hurt.
right.
Well, now I'm realizing his finger was probably broken and should have been fixed at the time,
Uh-huh.
but he played a whole season like that. His shoulder has a tear in it now, and I feel bad as a mom because I know he played for me, but I'm like,
How dare you, Alina? How dare
man,
you,
like
Alina?
you know
Oh, that's
what?
worse than the
Well,
money
I
at the church,
hate
Alina. I'm
I
kidding.
know it is. I'm going to
kidding, girl.
hell.
It's okay.
That's why people
I'll see
are
you
like,
there.
Like, people are like, why are you so good? I said, you don't know, man. I've been lying to Jesus since I was like 10, giving my offering to Joseph's Bakery.
Yes, having my son's shoulder pop
Yeah,
out. He can't
I'm
hold his
like,
baby at
oh,
23.
yeah.
I'm
So
kidding.
now, like, it's so good. I'm glad he stopped playing, but just the fact that girls have a coach that takes it serious enough to teach them so they know what they're doing instead of just going out there and not caring. Like, who's the coach in that movie that went and coached the girls? Tom Hanks in the
Oh,
movie,
yeah,
and that movie makes me laugh because
Yeah.
he goes and coaches and he really doesn't care about them until they start winning, right?
Right.
But you actually care. You're not a drunk out there coaching
No,
them.
no, no,
You're out there. You're
no.
taking it seriously. You're teaching them everything.
I think it's important for them. I tell them this year, since it's an inaugural season, you earn respect. I tell the girls, and you are the face, and you will put a face in your this town.
Yeah.
You will make it a sport for the all young female, maybe in recreation where there's a league of 4 teams of 7-on-7 girls flag football now.
Yeah.
And so you are the foundation. I tell them every day. I remind them constantly. I go, whatever you do, you're the eye of what's happening because it's the first year.
It's the
To the
first
people
year,
that know
yeah.
it, like you didn't even know. A lot of people still don't know.
Like, I'm gonna ask a question right now. It's kind of, but do you guys have cheerleaders?
They had some the other day.
Really?
Yeah, and the girl's like, "What are they doing here, Coach Vic?"
That's what I'm
I
saying.
said,
Like, do you guys have?
well, the cheer coach asked me, and I said, "Yeah, of course."
Because of course you'd want to cheer the mom, but that just looks a little,
Yeah, no,
different.
it does. So
Yeah.
I thought it would be something good. I was sitting on
Yeah.
it happened the other day. It's funny as you asked, and one of the girls on the team goes, "Coach Vic, what are they doing here?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Because she's a little badass football player. Well, I don't want
but I
girls
looked at
cheering
my
for
assistant.
me.
I go, did we do something wrong by asking the cheer
Yeah.
team to come here? Because I didn't know, Alina.
Yeah.
It's still a subject that's up in the air. Thanks for reminding me. Tomorrow senior night, they'll be there tomorrow night as well.
Really?
So now I'm preparing myself. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What are they going to think?
Yeah, because you have the girls that are cheering, and then but you think they should just
So
support
what
each
should I
other.
say, Alina?
Well, I'll tell you this much though, like either you love cheer or you don't, right? So
right.
my sons always thought cheer was like they're not athletes, they're nothing, right? Always, oh, cheerleaders. Until some show came out on Netflix and it showed what they went through, and he watched this and he goes, "Mom, those cheerleaders." Oh, they're athletes.
Oh, they're
All the
athletes.
stuff they put into it, all the competition they go to,
They're
like all it.
athletes.
Yes.
I watched them because they used to practice in the gym at basketball at Mary Star prior to our practices.
Yeah.
So we'd be there 15 minutes prior. They'd be finishing up.
Yeah.
But I was shocked at the things they did cheer. I mean, they're up in the air, they're running,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
flipping. Yeah, they're athletes.
Oh yeah, they're
So don't
athletes
underestimate.
too.
Yeah, don't underestimate.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm serious. And I was like, well, I'm shocked.
But
They worked harder than my basketball team at the time. I go, they would look at them.
But again, it's that thing that girls want it. And girls like to be perfectionists.
Yep.
So they don't, as much as guys don't like to fail either, I feel like girls are more perfectionists at a younger age. Like we're already looking to see who's looking. We don't want to fail. We don't want to fall. We don't want to do any of that. So I feel like they would work harder.
They do work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They work harder.
And
And the boys work hard too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not gonna misunderstand this, but it's a different, like you just said right now. It's more personal, and they want to be successful, and they want to show that.
Well, Seth loved baseball. Everybody in town knows how much he loves baseball. Everybody knows he's a little lefty hitter, right?
Right? Yeah, I know that.
But
I watched them.
but believe me, Vic, it didn't click or change for him till he hit like 16 when I got so mad at him because, oh, I'm a baseball player. Oh, I hit bombs. So you don't do shit for it. I said,
Right.
I'm a mom and an aunt. That's all I know how to
Right.
be. Every day I try to be a better mom and a better aunt. I make sure of that. You should try to do something to be better at baseball every day, but you don't give a shit. You just
Right.
walk in the house and practice was done and practice. Like I had to like insult him and he thought about it for a few days
Right.
and then it clicked and he goes,
Mhm.
"You're right, Mom.
Insult.
I do love this." And I don't, and I was like,
See,
oh my
that's you
God.
said the key word. Insult him.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Like,
That's what will make. You're right. And sometimes they just shut off.
oh,
And
yeah.
sometimes they'll take it personal.
Oh, he took it personal.
And I take it. The way I was raised, and I took it personal.
I called him lazy.
Right.
And to him,
You know.
I might as well called him a mother effer.
Yeah. Yes.
That
yeah,
word lazy
Yeah.
just insults.
Ignited him.
Oh, but my daughter from day one,
Yeah.
she would run through a wall, just run through a brick wall for any sport that I would let her play. And with him, it's like,
No.
but again, it's not that she's any better or he's any better. I just feel like girls naturally want more. And he was lackadaisical until he got a foot up his ass.
Yes.
And then the light switch went off.
Yes. Absolutely. Lynn. Yeah. And that's why today in day and age, you have to really choose your words wisely as a coach.
Mhm.
Truly believe that. Okay. And it's not something that you have to be like don't want to coach him because you want as a coach you have to want the best for that athlete and every athlete's different every personality is different. So as a coach you got to figure out what's the best way I can motivate this young child, this young female, this young man to do the best they can do. Now like when you coach girls, it's always they're gonna give it their best. Sometimes the boys take it personal
Yeah.
at times, but most of them respond as well.
Yeah.
But it's about, I go back to this. It's about discipline. It's about hard work. And it's about showing up on time. And if you could do those three things, everything else will fall into in order. There's nothing much more I could say. Just show up on time, be there, and try to make yourself better every day.
That's awesome.
But I do love coaching the girls now. I enjoy it. A lot of success. I've learned a lot as a coach about myself included. When I can and when I should show my anger or show. Okay.
And you have a temper.
Yes, I do a little bit.
You've gotten better as you've gotten older.
No, I'm getting better. But it's all in good fun, and they understand
Yeah.
it's coming from a good place. Alina,
Yeah.
In general,
Yeah.
it's about success. It's about you as an individual learning to work with other people as a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. That's how you're going to be successful. You're going to work with others all the time.
Well, the girls are definitely blessed with somebody who wants to be there. You want to be with them. You want to help them. And a lot of kids don't get a coach like that. They're not as forthright in wanting to be there as you are. And a lot of it has to do, I think, with the fact that this is your community. This is where you grew up. This,
Oh, yeah, it's something like I remember my main thing is you have 20 girls, 20 boys on a team. And if the coach is not there, what are those 20 boys or 20 girls gonna do? Instead, you are there making them do something productive, whatever it is
especially in our town.
in our town, right? And in that hour and a half, 2 hour span allows them to learn about working with others, discipline. And I think as a person, as a coach, it's that you're there, God willing, he's giving you that opportunity to be there for those kids.
Yeah.
Win, lose, draw, whatever it is. Don't get me wrong, I'm a competitor too. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, sit here and lie. I like to lose. I like to win.
Yeah.
Okay, and we all do. But you learn the greatest lessons in life. I learned through losing. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
Okay,
everybody
yes,
has to fall to get
yes,
up,
you have to
right?
fall to get up, Alina. So,
Yes.
but the opportunity to be there for those kids in those moments as they grow up old, as they get older, that's everything as a coach. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
I got an hour and a half of my time. What am I going to do? Mow the lawn, play with the dog, or coach some kids? I'll coach some kids. You know, I'm going to be at the I'm going to be at the bakery with the old man. Let him be at the bakery.
Do you ever take them, Joseph's?
Oh yes.
And everybody loves it.
Oh yes, I gotta
Eats
take
it
him.
up.
I gotta take him, Joseph's.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. They'll
So
play for me.
there's a story.
He's bringing his pizza. He's all right.
My daughter played college ball in Iowa, and it was her freshman year. And she was coming to Arizona during spring break. You know, they had their tournament there, and we drove there with Auntie and Grandma. Do you know we went and got Joseph's and drove it to her because she needed it? And the whole team, because we took a lot, we bought a lot from you guys that day. The team was like, "Oh my God, where did you get this?" Loren's like, "My favorite bakery in my town." Like,
I'm blessed. We go about the bakery, my parents,
Yeah.
and the opportunity in my life. I'm truly, truly blessed. You know,
well, you give back to your
I'm very
community.
thankful, and I think, like I said, it's give back to my community.
Yeah.
We have a business in this community, Alina, and no other way is better to give back to the people in this community.
I love that your parents started something that has gone on to you and now onto yours and George's kid, that it's going to be there for a long time. Because our town has changed so
Yes, it
much.
has.
And it's gotten bigger, and it's not family as much. And you don't really know everybody like we used to know everybody.
know.
But the fact that Joseph's is still right there in the middle of a residential area,
Same place that you used to.
locals only.
Used to give church supposed to give $3 on Sundays, and my granddaughter goes and spends it on pizza.
On pizza. and the sad part is my grandpa's like the most biblical man who doesn't lie.
You're good.
So you don't lie to him.
Yeah,
and to look him dead in the face and be like, church gave it to us.
Yeah, right. Right. But anyways, like I said, I'm blessed and very, very blessed in the foundation and the bakery and the opportunity to coach at my school and now at San Pedro, our town. So I'm very lucky.
Well, thank you so much for coming today,
No,
Vic. It was great to have you. I'm going to promise you I'm going to try to, I'll probably be at tomorrow's game to watch it.
No, I thank you for having me and thank you for taking the
really
opportunity.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alina.
And please like, subscribe, send to friends, everybody, anybody. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Alina.